Welcome to the Unpaid Nobodies, ladies and gentlemen. What a week, what a week. Got a lot to talk about.
I'm sorry I missed last week. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. You know, Purvis is back from Florida, the worst part of the country.
I will never go again. Bottom 5 state of the country. Easily. It was hot. It's a lot of white people.
Yeah, that's Florida. That's literally like you could write that on the boardwalk, like when you drive into the state, and that's what it should say.
It was just crackheads. It was intense. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And don't go anywhere near Disney. It's a parking lot.
No, yeah, it's a corporate trap. All right, but Purvis is back. We just went to the Tyler, the Creator Chromakopia tour.
This was Jasper's the weekend.
Yeah, this was a big deal. Very big deal. We're bringing a pretty in-depth breakdown of everything about that. But first, releases, albums. Seems like we have a little bit more than last week.
Yes, and then we have the news to catch up on.
Yeah.
At least for the album so far, we have NBA YoungBoy is returning for his 50th album. I don't know, probably around 50.
Yeah, it's insane how many.
It's crazy, but hey, I mean, if you could do it, make your money. Unfortunately, it's called "Make America Smile Again," which is something none of us are doing anymore because
why would we? Like
the big beautiful bill just passed.
The abbreviation for that is also MASA, so take that how you will.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I thought it was Make America Slime Again, but it would still have that.
Yeah, it's still MASA, and anytime you're sucking up to Trump, little embarrassing.
No, not great.
Yeah.
Slime again? Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, no,
maybe you'll get 40 acres in a cabin.
No.
Jeez. Or just get.
Oh my god.
In much better news. Jid is back. Jid better. For the first time in my life, a prelude is coming out for an album. I've never experienced it, at least. I can't think of another one. But he's dropping not America. God Does Like Ugly, the prelude, which seems to be like a mixtape. So I'm here for it.
That's awesome. It comes out tonight?
Yeah. It's supposed to be a whole bunch of stuff. Also, the vinyl just got on sale on his website. Like an hour ago, maybe. But yeah, I don't know how many songs, but he did call it a mixtape, so I would say at least 3.
Oh yeah.
So I'm here for that. And he did drop a freestyle 32 on his YouTube. That was great. And he dropped, was it like Bew or something?
Bo, yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one.
So yeah. Jid season is here.
He's been dropping. And you know what? Jid better. Like, it's hard not to just say that because everything he drops is crazy good. Like, even the song with Offset was.
I finally listened to it. It bangs.
Yeah. No, and he specifically. Yeah, no, like, it's good the whole way through, but he specifically is very good.
To be fair, last year we were saying Jid better drop something, and now here we are.
That is true. We're here. He doesn't do what Chance does. God. Should we get into the singles?
Let's get into the singles.
As of today, Chance the Rapper featuring Smino and Lil Wayne dropped Tree, our first weed dedicated song in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time since 2010. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It's like, okay, we have weed songs again. It's like, where did they go? Like,
it became legal, and I guess people stopped. I don't know.
Well, it went from that to they were about lean for a little bit there.
Yeah,
they were.
And perk, and now we're back.
Now we're back.
The good cycle.
Not just the weed song. It's a song about telling white people to fuck off.
It is also a song about telling white people to fuck off. So
the perfect balance. The two things you need in life. Weed Well, yeah. Did anyone watch the video or listen to it? Any thoughts?
I did. Yeah.
Music video is pretty cool.
Yeah, music video is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, you heard the song 400 days ago.
Yeah, 446 days ago from this Thursday, July 3rd. Because he performed it at the damn benefit concert for the social works he did last April.
Did it change at all by chance? Did anything change?
No. Like the whole chorus, like you didn't know what the instrumental sounded like. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But he freestyled the whole his verse and all that.
And then added Wayne later. Okay. Fair
Jeff,
And
you need a shirt now that says everything you like, I liked 446 days ago.
We need a whole line of Accidental Bronson shirts.
Yeah, we need to get our merch going.
I'm here for it.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
But it's good. I just hope he doesn't have all these good singles and then the album sucks.
Do it again.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah. No, it is a really good song. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I wish there were more Smino, but that's really all I have.
Yeah, that's my only complaint. I wish Smino hit.
Lil Wayne, surprisingly good. Really solid.
Better verse on the whole album.
Yeah. Really solid feature verse of Lil Wayne, which is nice. I thought the video was really good. I thought it was very good. I don't know if it makes me feel better about the album. Right. I think the album being good might make me feel better about the album. Might. You know what I mean? Like, it does. Yeah.
We have reached a point where I feel like the past year or so.
The first episode of this podcast was about when is Chance going to drop. Like,
that too, but I just meant in general around all music that's been coming out and the whole trend of dropping on Instagram. It's like, give me a date or leave me alone. Like,
exactly.
That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah, like if I don't have a date, it's not coming out. Like as far as I'm concerned, right? Like, you know, I don't. Especially in today's day and age, I don't get it.
What can you do? I guess some other songs that are already out there. I don't know if you guys discussed it last week. Don Toliver finally dropped his song that was originally a snippet as well on Instagram. Fuck with you. Did anyone listening to it?
No, I've not heard that.
I think it's good.
No.
I'm surprised that it's not going to be on Jack Boys, but hopefully we're getting a Jack Boys soon as well. So
yeah. God.
And also, I think Benny the Butcher Summer 25 is already out, if I recall correctly.
I did see that. I didn't get around to listening to it. I saw it literally an hour ago, but yeah, Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
Which,
Brazil
you know,
doesn't
Griselda.
which is okay. Yeah. It is.
That's what he does.
Yep. Some other stuff going on. Now for the actual songs that are not out yet. ASAP Rocky is dropping Pray for the Gang. I believe he dropped a snippet for the Paris show. The fashion show or something like that.
He's dropping something.
Yeah, so it's supposed to drop tonight. Again, he got Rihanna pregnant. It's like I'm not gonna make the joke again, but I don't know what to expect out of him. So
yeah.
If it comes, it comes. Some other stuff going on. We have Brett Faiyaz dropping a 2-pack song, Peter Pan and Tony Soprano. And he is now expected to drop his album September 19th because we're having a toxic fall.
Yeah. And you know what that is?
What's that?
A date. So it feels like the album is going to actually come out. You know what I mean? Like,
look forward to. Like, suddenly I actually believe it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then some other stuff going on. Logic is dropping The Adventures of Cocaine Larry, whatever that means.
I'm out. Stop. Why does it sound like a West Side Gun project?
Maybe West
Me
Side
and my
Gun
boy
Project.
Cocaine Larry.
That does, yeah, no, that was good.
That's if West Side Gun and Mac Miller made an album together.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's not, that. Why would you say that? Now I got to think about that all week.
Just going straight to the
minute.
tiny desk when he done with there.
Oh,
we just
man.
went from Logic to Mac Miller and West Side Gun. What a change.
What a change.
What an upgrade. And then last but not least, and I just wanted to actually give a shout out because we rarely talk about this person, but Ski Mask, the Slump God, is going to be dropping Catch Me Outside 2. I'm glad he's finally doing stuff again because I know.
Yeah, he dropped an album last year, right?
Was it last year?
Yeah.
No, that's a check. I don't know.
Yeah, he dropped an album last year.
Recently.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that album he dropped last year. Like,
oh yeah, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, 11th Dimension.
Yeah,
around and it didn't receive as much attention. But
no,
I'm glad to see that he's doing stuff. After X died and Juice died, it seemed like he kind of went quiet. But
yeah,
this is
yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm happy he's doing stuff. He's easily one of my favorites from the SoundCloud era.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah. Rip the SoundCloud era. There's like no one left,
dude,
which is crazy.
Yeah, it's nice.
But anyway, yeah.
All right, a lot of stuff.
On to the news. Should we start with the stuff that we were holding off on?
Yeah. So we have stuff from last week, which we're just bringing in because we wanted to make sure Purvis was included. Because in the run up to the Clips album, we've gotten "So Be It," which is one of my favorite songs of the year. It's one of my favorite beats. Really love both verses, and the song ends with Pusha T kind of taking some early preliminary shots at Travis Scott. Nothing's really happened since because the album hasn't come out, but I feel like when the album comes out, I feel like the floodgates are going to open. Right? And especially like if Jack Boys comes out around the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is what's rumored.
Yeah. And I feel like there's almost no way that this is the only thing we get. Right? I don't think it's going to become fucking Kendrick and Drake. But
no.
I don't think this is it either. So, is this... I know this is World War Jasper, so let's start with...
Like, is this the moment where we discover that Don Toliver is actually an insane battle rapper?
Hey, I'll be happy.
He can't. His albums are too good.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. I do not want to distract him. Just had an amazing album. I want him to continue this run. Yeah, no, I thought about this as well. I feel like floodgates is the right thing to say, but I kind of realized I don't think it's going to be only targeted at Travis. I don't feel like there's enough evidence to attack Travis or enough care from Pusha T to attack Travis only. I feel like he's going to be attacking a lot of people.
I think so. I mean, I think so. Like, I think like Pusha T. And I think that this is something that annoyed me about kind of the response being like, oh, you can't drop an album without dissing someone. It's like, he kind of just, if he has a problem with someone, lets the world know. That's kind of like always been his thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I think he has a problem with Travis Scott, and I think that's going to, I don't, do I think it's possible it becomes that several people? Sure. Because he's also been talking a lot about how much he hates Kanye now. So
that too. And I'm sure Drake's going to come back up.
Yeah, I'm sure Drake's going to come back up. Although apparently what I'm hearing is about the Kendrick feature that apparently UMG didn't want to put out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently had nothing to do with Drake.
Interesting.
Yeah, because what I was hearing is people had pulled the lyric apparently originally, and I don't know if this is true, but Justin Hunt ran with it. So to me, that's a big Markham endorsement. And it was a line about Trump.
Okay.
And they didn't want, and they didn't want.
Fuck them.
Yeah,
fuck those motherfuckers.
It wasn't even like a really. Apparently, it was like a Trump card innuendo and like referencing the assassination attempts.
Oh,
yeah. So like, it wasn't like some stance against Trump. It wasn't like anything. It was just a double entendre. But that's apparently what I hear. But I think the idea that like, oh, this is going to be about Drake is titillating. I get why people immediately thought that.
I feel like he just passed that chapter unless Drake decides to.
I also do just feel like if there's a reason though, he's got to be calling out Travis in the run up though.
I mean, that's fair.
You know,
I think
it is just that he's the one he has a personal problem with right now. I'll say this. I think what Pusha T has been saying in interviews is way more compelling than the actual diss on the song. I like the song a lot, but like someone crying during a breakup, I don't know. It's kind of like the most humanized I've ever felt Travis Scott been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think his problem is less with Travis individually as it is like an entire stance and outlook on like what hip hop is and like what it means to have and maintain celebrity. You know, because that's like a big thing. There was a video I shared to, I think, with all of you a little while back about that, where it's basically, I think he really takes issue with like the way of life of like a lot of artists who don't really stand for anything or who don't have like convictions, and I think that's a big part of this.
And
100%.
I think Travis Scott is like emblematic.
The poster boy.
Yeah, emblematic
he represents
of that.
all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the biggest one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it seems.
Or hip hop star.
I mean, I'm certainly more interested in what Jasper would have said, to be honest. But to me, it seemed very personal. It seemed like, why did you do this two-timey thing to Pharrell?
Also very important. Yeah.
I
called that out when Meltdown came out. The fact that he had him on there, the fact that he was still working with Pharrell, and the fact there were Virgil disses on there was crazy.
Yeah. So to be honest, I want this to blow into a conflict. Like, just because I think it's a no-win scenario for Travis Scott, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we say our predictions of like what would happen if who wins?
I mean, it all depends on how it plays out. Because the thing is, like, we can't assume Travis is gonna respond with bars. I guarantee you, I think that there is like a full track ready to go for if that happens. But I don't think it will, right? Like,
you mean Pusha T's gonna already have a response?
I think that there's a response track ready to go. Like, basically saying that if Travis took the bait, there's something there.
I can't remember. Did he do that with Drake? Or was it kind of like one at a time?
He did. So it started off with just like subliminals on infrared.
How could you ever write these wrongs when you don't even write your songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Drake responded with Duppy Freestyle. And then was there another one, or did it go straight to the story of Adidon?
No, I think there was another one.
Another one. There had to have been another one.
Yeah.
Because that would have been an insane jump. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah. So, this goes way back.
Yeah, this was years ago. That's crazy.
It was 2018,
also
right?
Crazy. Drake has been in multiple beefs.
Yeah, I mean, just like look at him.
Multiple big beefs.
Yeah, no, of course he has.
I mean, no, it seems like it went straight into it.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm only looking at one source, but no, you might be right. Like, it went W Freestyle, Story of Adidon, and then it was like, all right, there's nothing else for us to really talk about.
Yeah.
Well, there was also
a press release.
Yeah, well, Drake also appeared on like a podcast in between.
Yeah,
and talked about the two of them, and then Pusha T also was on Rick Ross's track Maybach 6, and had a verse bashing Drake on that. I don't know if that was. I think that was before Adidon. Oh, maybe not. No, that was. I don't know. It like kept going, but just like was not as publicly,
Yeah.
discussed.
I remember the story of Adidon really shutting everything down.
Yeah.
Like the child reveal was huge.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. I'm trying to think, like, was that ultimately like a bigger, like as big of a moment as Not Like Us? But I do think maybe Not Like Us was bigger.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, that song has as many Grammys as Drake has Grammys.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I think the most likely outcome is Travis just dropping Jack Boys on the same day as the Clips album.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be next week.
I'm so excited for both of them. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm excited for both of those.
Right. And I think like that's like, which I think is like because that's his thing, right? Is that he's a He's not a rapper. He's not even like really an artist because I gotta be honest. I mean, yes, Travis is an artist. I don't anticipate the Jack Boys album being substantially better than the Clips album. I think best case scenario is that they're equal. But I know it's going to sell a lot better. And that's his whole
consumed very differently.
Yeah, I get it, but because one is for consumption and one is not. Right.
If this is any type of battle, this is going to be comparable to the Kanye 50 Cent battle for album sales.
Yeah.
Oh.
Graduation and I forget the name.
Curtis,
there you go.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it is. Because I think Clips and Jack Boys are both derivative of like the main artists' discographies and the main artists' careers, right? It's not technically like a mainline Pusha T album, and it's not a mainline Travis Scott album. So it's almost like we're getting like these like a spin-off battle.
I mean, you could argue that Pusha T is the spin-off from Clips, though.
Yeah, but for like people who are our age and younger who are like tuning into this online, a lot of them don't know who Clips are.
Sure, but and like I don't disagree with that. You know,
that's why I feel like Travis Scott's gonna make this into like that Kanye 50 Cent battle. Like he's not gonna respond anyway. He's gonna just let the stream numbers and all the numbers do its battle because he knows that's how he's gonna win.
Because that's the only way that he can win. But the thing is, like, I think we all think Jack Boys, including myself, all think Jack Boys is almost certainly going to outsell Clips. But, like, if it doesn't,
that'd be hilarious.
That's a huge, I think that's the biggest possible L, though. Like, I think that might be a bigger L than him just, like, responding with bars.
And Travis Scott, I see Travis Scott coming out and saying that it wasn't because of him. Like he's gonna put the blame on someone else. I feel within like the Jack Boys.
I feel like you're right, but that's not reality. I don't think Clips is gonna outsell Jack Boys too.
There's no way. There's no way.
It's really not possible.
The capacity, the sound is so much more universally like pop rap than Clips would ever be, to the point where the amount of people who will be suggested this album based on their algorithm and their existing consumption is just gonna completely overtake what Clips is gonna have.
Clips is just a highly anticipated
it is
reunion, right?
Totally.
So like once again, I'm not saying like I don't think it's impossible, but even a 20% chance isn't zero. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't, because it, right? Because I also think controversy is going to probably bring a lot of people to it. Like, right? Especially if it's like, you know, what Jasper or Jeff said earlier, where it's like if he's talking about like a lot of people and not just Travis,
right?
The controversy lightning rod could bring it over the edge. Like these. You know, it's Pharrell Williams at the end of the day. You know,
the features on the Clips album, I think, are gonna really bring a lot of people to listen to it.
I will give you an exact parallel here because we saw this play out exactly 2 years ago with the release of Michael and the release of Utopia. All right, Michael is an excellent album. Killer Mike, hotly anticipated solo project that deviates from the formula of Run the Jewels. Right, first week album sales were 129,000 units, or album equivalent units. Hit number 10 on the Billboard 200. Utopia, 496,000 in the same time period. It's just economies of scale. It's like you're already in everybody's ear, so it becomes that much easier to push a new project, regardless of what the quality ends up being.
Yeah.
So yeah, Clips is going to be better.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if we're doing a numbers game, it's two different games.
Yeah. And that's why I think like that's why I hate the numbers game, because it's so uncreative. It's so algorithm driven, you know. It feels a lot less like a sports competition and a lot more like Walmart buying out like a mom and pop shop and like winning that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it just like to me, I feel like that is that is just like a lame response in and of itself. I think we all know that's probably what's going to happen.
Unfortunately.
But like, I think it's lame. And I think any defense of it is just like very corporate, very un-hip hop. Right? Like I do.
Just saying, like we brought up the numbers, so I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah.
If it is a numbers battle,
yeah. I just mean like the people, like, you know, kind of like the people in the Twitter hip hop, like social media sphere, like championing this strategy and saying that like responding with bars is not what Travis should do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
I mean, they're only basing things off of look what happened to Drake.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's as many skeletons in Travis's closet as Drake.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah,
I mean, they just put out a whole documentary based on the fucking shit at Astroworld on Netflix.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't matter what you say or what you bring to the table. Travis is already kind of known in the industry to not be a great person. I'm sure there's plenty of evidence that Pusha T can use.
Yeah.
So,
but real excited for this album.
Yes.
We will check back in once it's here.
We will. But since we were kind of already speaking of the devil's name, Drake showed up.
Not even the devil.
I'm not sure if Drake is the devil or Morgan Wallen, but Drake showed up at Morgan Wallen
with the haircut like that, with the fucking mullet. Morgan Wallen, please.
Yeah,
we have to set a line here. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, Morgan Wallen is worse than Drake. I'm willing to. But
the fact that he's from a place called Sneedville, Tennessee, should tell you everything you need to know.
Oh,
get me back to God's country. God, I hate him.
Well, you just said that, but yeah, I don't know why he was there or what he was doing. I don't know what he did when he was on stage.
Yeah,
I just know it happened. So,
for a feature, Morgan Wallen's been working with so many rappers nowadays.
Yeah.
Wait, Drake's on the Morgan Wallen song?
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt Morgan Wallen's on Drake's new album that he has coming out.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, like Morgan Wallen does have that song with like Lil Durk and everything, and like. It's because
I think he's worked with Big X the Plug.
Yeah. It's because, you know, Morgan Wallen's whole business model is taking hip hop sounds and selling it to people who don't like black people. Like,
oh yeah.
That's just what the kind of country music Morgan Wallen makes.
Post Malone with fewer face tattoos.
Yeah. I would much rather listen to Post Malone. I am not a fan of Post Malone, but I would much rather listen to Post Malone.
Me too. By a long shot. Hollywood's Bleeding is actually not a bad album, and I will stand on that. Anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of forget how much Brandon hated Post Malone. We haven't talked about that.
So and you have no idea the amount of preference. Like it's kind of
time. Brandon, next time you miss an episode, we're gonna do a Post Malone deep dive.
I like 2 of his albums, to be fair.
Yeah,
I just hate.
He does good live. He does perform good live.
Yeah, I hate his first album. It was the most disappointing album of all time. It made The Big Day feel like graduation. Like,
I don't know about that one, bro.
So
Stony
is that bad.
Congratulations is good enough to be better than
Congratulations is one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
It's still not worse than The Big Day. Cap. There's no way.
I hate that song. I hate that song so much. It is like the most soulless version of Amigos song I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but
I
all
like
of Big
White
Day
Iverson.
is the most soulless version of Chance the
Iverson.
Rapper song.
Huh?
I said, but everything on The Big Day is just the most soulless version of Chance the Rapper. So like, there's
at least
no
Chance the Rapper made that song. You know what I mean? He didn't have to fly him in for a feature. Like
that makes it worse.
Yeah. So
to be fair, Quavo did perform Congratulations at the BET Awards that year. Post Malone showed up, did the chorus, and left, and did not make it about him. So like, props for that, I guess.
Smart, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like he's embarrassed of how he came up.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I like Hollywood Bleeding though. I'll give you that. I like Hollywood Bleeding and Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Like,
there's some good songs in Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
I like those 2 albums decently enough. I just did not like Stoney.
Oh, he's a country artist.
Yeah, and now he's a country artist, which everyone saw coming.
Well, because he's always been public about how he's always wanted to transition to be country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also just easier to impress the crowds at those shows. It's like you go to one of those and you see the people there looking at the lights, and it's like motherfuckers got moving candles. It's like easy.
You just gotta hold up a Bud Light and they
Yeah.
cheer.
I find this very funny, but I actually, on a technical level, disagree. But I think it's probably as easy to impress. But I do think that's very funny. You're right. Like,
Hold up a beer.
just hold up a Bud Light.
Exactly. Hold up that red Solo cup and they cheer.
Anyway, so Drake country album when? When do we think Drake's going country?
Oh God.
That's too far.
Dude, what if we're gonna get 9 p.m. in Nebraska and it's gonna be a country song?
It's gonna be Canadian country.
That's worse.
Exactly.
I think it's worse. I don't know.
He's gonna do a remake of Chicken Fried with a Jamaican accent like he did Hey There Delilah.
It is worse because they have accessible. It will be worse if it's Canadian because they actually have accessible healthcare, and the real conservative people there are actually mad about it.
I hate Canada.
There was like that whole thing about truckers blocking bridges out of like
I remember that a couple years ago.
Something insane. But if you all have seen The Devil All the Time with Tom Holland, I feel like that is the vibe we're going to get out of Drake for whatever he does next. Robert Pattinson in The Devil All the Time, that energy.
God.
I'm not ready.
Spoiler alert, he's a pastor who has an inappropriate relationship with an underage girl. So
nice.
Cool, I'm not going to watch that movie now.
I was going to say, it's just a movie? Like...
Tom Holland shoots him if it makes you feel better. It's pretty
It doesn't.
great.
Violence is a cycle.
Correct.
Like...
I don't know.
Purvis.
It's like,
look at Purvis.
Yeah. It's like a whitewashed version of Sinners, I will say. And without vampires.
God. Sinners without
okay. I'm gonna go to the next news item.
Yeah,
let's
go. Let's go. This is huge.
Alfredo 2, baby.
Alfredo 2. Hot take. Should have been called Robin.
Should be called Rigatoni.
Yeah.
We literally, Brennan and I went on for several minutes coming up with different names.
Risotto.
We need a whole list of names now.
Baked ziti.
I got Alfredo. I got chicken Alfredo for dinner the night this was announced. Like I actually went and did it.
Yeah.
Shout out the pasta bowl, delicious.
But yeah, no, this is I get the pasta bowl sometimes. But yeah, no, it's widely good. This is incredible. The Alchemist is returning, teaming up with Freddie Gibbs for a second album. Alfredo, what stands out to the last 5 years, I'd say. Easily one of my favorite albums.
I think The Alchemist is officially now my favorite producer, and I don't think it's close for me now. For me, just for me.
Yeah, he's so good. This is good. This is like almost a guaranteed hit for me because I love Freddie. I love The Alchemist. Guaranteed this isn't going to be overlong, like sold separately, which I did really like, but you know, this is
his most recent one.
His most recent one was the one that came out the same day as Still Praying.
Still mid.
I didn't really like the new one as much.
Yeah, it was good. I was stuck on Still Praying.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Some other stuff going on. Brian Still is now apparently the best lawyer ever. Apparently he got Young Thug and Diddy out of several charges now.
I feel differently about those two cases though.
Yeah, facts. The Saul Goodman of rappers.
Yeah.
But he is now going to be in probably like the next 50 rap songs. So
I don't know. Do like rappers want Diddy to go free? Like,
no, I just meant people are going to be talking about Brian Still.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The Diddy part is a little different.
Did you all see how Kanye got normal after going to the Diddy trial?
He left after 10 minutes, they said.
He left after 10 minutes.
I had no idea this happened. I'm not really on social media.
He was seen in like the most normal clothes I've seen him in literally 10 years, like immediately afterward. He looked like some kid out of Scared Straight.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, fuck, they're spraying baby oil on this bitch.
Well, after the Diddy trial, they were spraying baby oil all over.
Life imitates art. It's a literal Boondocks
So we get
episode.
the first Diddy party.
Boondocks episode.
God.
If he has another party, like...
Diddy should not be allowed to have people over. Like,
that's the house arrest. It's reverse house arrest. You can't have people.
From what I've seen the 2 counts that he was charged on, he might do 2 years.
No, 20
That's
years is the
insane.
max.
20 years. The minimum
20
was
years.
20 years
It's the minimum is 20 years if he's
for each charge.
yeah. No, it's 20 years total. I thought for the 2.
I was reading that he's going to probably end up
Like,
doing
each
2
charge
years.
is 10.
Either way, his bail was
They-
denied.
They got out of
Yeah.
more. I saw something
Yeah.
saying maybe that was the maximum.
Maximum might be 20 for both.
Maximum's probably 20 because from what I was reading, he's going to do about 2.
Yes.
We'll
If
see.
he was charged on the
Racketeering.
racketeering one, that would have been a minimum 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each charge was a minimum, I think, 15 or 20 up to life, and then the ones that he did get charged on was maximum 10 years each.
Yeah. But he still is. He's going to be held until October when they sentence him because he's a flight risk.
Exactly, and all this time's already going to be put towards his service.
Man, being rich, do whatever you want, I guess.
There you go.
Anyway, someone put Mellow Bucks in. What's this?
Yeah. This happened last night. This is some Chicago stuff. Local drill rapper Mellow Bucks had an album release party in the North Loop that turned into a massive drive-by shooting.
Oh, was that?
That's what this
That
is.
was
I didn't know that.
I thought it was a nightclub. I had no idea it was a.
It was in River North.
It is a nightclub, but they were it's technically it's considered like a performance space and a nightclub. I don't really know, but like it was an album release party being hosted there that this happened. And she's appeared on songs with Lotto and Polo G, and so this is like all like Polo G related apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 people dead and like 11 or
14
wounded. Yeah, it's too bad, but yeah.
And I think this afternoon they already came out and the first victim was announced. Yeah. Like her identity was released
publicly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I did not know it was a release thing. That's awful.
Yeah, I got a work alert about this because we get like those like public safety alerts.
I was seeing it everywhere. I just hadn't seen
Yeah.
anything
about it being in like rap release. I'm looking at her story now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I've heard of Mellow Buckets. I believe she was on Saba album, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, her most popular stuff is. Let's see, where'd she go? Yeah, I mean, she's got stuff with. Yeah, she's got a song of hers that's featuring Lotto. I don't see anything specifically with anybody else, but this was like her full like her first full album release. It's called Hollywood.
Yeah,
and it's 8 tracks, and yeah, unfortunate.
It is crazy. I sometimes hate Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's nuts.
All right, well, that was sad news.
Yeah. What a bummer. Thanks, Jasper.
You're welcome. Chicago rap is in shambles, and this is,
Yeah, this might be one of the reasons.
Oh my God.
The younger generation don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. People have been shooting up Chicago since my grandfather was our age.
Like, I don't know, when you got kids on the west and south side walking down the street holding up their guns, just pointing at random doors saying, "You come out, we're shooting you." And you're posting it on TikTok.
Yeah. I would say it's not better. Let's put it that way. It hasn't been getting better.
That doesn't help when they're trying to show the public that we don't care. We'll kill you no matter what.
Yeah. Apparently, everybody who was seen suspects in the car were all between 20 and 30. So
yeah,
it's our age.
No arrests yet.
But
we'll see what happens.
Shocker.
All right. No more sad news. On to the main course, I guess. Rough transition, but here we are.
You can say things are getting sticky.
Yeah.
Things are getting sticky.
Not after that last one. There was a photo I saw from it in the news article I read about it, where they're literally using the fire department to spray blood off the sidewalk. Like, Jesus Christ.
No. Guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Cut to the main topic. No more jokes, please. Okay. We went to see Tyler the Creator at United Center for the first day of his tour.
Well, first day in Chicago on his tour.
Yes, his first day in Chicago for the tour.
At like the halfway point of the tour.
Very bizarre feeling because, I mean, at least for me, it seemed like we were some of the oldest people at the venue, and that might explain why nobody was outside. Everybody was on time. There was no lines to get drinks.
Oh yeah, no, we walked in. Yeah, that was wild because like
very bizarre.
Yeah, the stadium was filled. Everyone,
it was full,
packed.
It was full of parents and 20-year-olds.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody was on time.
It was maybe the second most packed I've ever seen the United Center, and it was.
You know, it's a young crowd when Lil Yachty gets a big reaction.
Yeah,
he didn't do well in my opinion, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't think he was amazing, but I don't think he was awful either. But yeah, so we got there, walked right in, real easy. Got right to our seats. Pretty good seats, I'd say, except for one part of the show. And Paris, Texas was like halfway through their set.
Yeah, when we saw them.
Yeah.
I don't know Paris, Texas, so I'm not gonna lie.
I like them. They're kind of like a rocky hip hop, like rock hip hop kind of crossover bands. They're
little alternative.
Yeah, they're pretty alternative. I like them. I'm not super duper familiar. But from what I saw, I really enjoyed it. I thought they were certainly a mark above Lil Yachty, who, I did not hate at all. But yeah, so we saw Paris, Texas. I will say, absolutely next level light shows for openers.
Yeah, because that center stage where you have lights all around it, that was like crazy. Very usable.
Right. Yeah. And it's one thing when you're like Playboi Carti, when you're like a huge artist in your own right who's like opening for like an even bigger artist. That's one thing, but these are maybe not Lil Yachty as much, but Paris, Texas is a fairly small act. And some of the lighting effects on their set were really impressive for like being the first set of the night.
Did you guys recognize any songs by chance since we caught the end?
No, not really. No. I'm not like that about Paris, Texas. Yeah. I've listened to the albums. I would like to dive back in, but it's just kind of hard.
Yeah. And after them, we had Yachty come out. I mean, at least for me, I kind of said already, considering I've seen him at Summer Smash, which is a way more active crowd, so maybe the energy was different for me. It didn't hit as hard, but what I was
tracks out the ass.
Yeah. What I was surprised about the most, people listen to the new album. Like at least the younger generation. That's what they recognize the most. Everybody stood up and was singing along to it, but I never really tapped into. I think it's called "Let's Start Here" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, people really did go crazy when he did songs off that album. And yeah, I agree. I do think ultimately the Summer Smash shows are better. They were just like much shorter, which I think when you're an artist like Lil Yachty, that's an advantage. But they still. I remember Jasper brought up like the water thing he did, and that was like a fun, actual like in the moment kind of thing. So yeah, no, I agree. I think at least one time. I'm wondering if there was another time I saw Yachty. I have no idea.
Yeah, you weren't at Summer Smash last year.
No, I wasn't there last
year. We were
year.
part of his set.
I think I might have saw him one year at Lala.
It makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't know.
It's been a while, for a long time, so it's not surprising.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was very, very, very decent. He did all the big hits. He did Minnesota. He did Broccoli.
Poland.
Yeah, Poland's.
I Spy, I think.
Yeah. I Spy, not even technically his song.
A typical Yachty performance, if we're being honest.
We didn't get Broccoli.
Huh?
Did we get Broccoli? I don't think we did we? Oh, we did. Okay.
It was back to back with I Spy.
Right, that's right. Okay, yeah.
They typically blend together because you always hear them together. So
I gotta say, not to get into a career debate, but I think it is wild if you look at where both Tyler and Lil Yachty were in their careers in 2016, which is when Yachty really got big. And now look at the fact that Yachty is opening for Tyler. for something like this.
It's just a talent.
Yeah, it's crazy. The career moves are crazy. It's just the trajectories people take are really interesting.
I mean, in general, we've talked about on the podcast, Tyler, the Creator, is probably the most interesting like career path that I know as an artist. Because like, talk about a shift. It's just complete. It's two totally different people almost. So
yeah,
I get it.
Someone you couldn't take serious to now someone you take serious.
Yeah, no, and yeah, because like in 2016 was right before I think Tyler made that big tone shift, right? So
yeah,
no, it's the development has been crazy for both of them. Obviously, I don't think exactly equal, but
no.
But no, I do think Lil Yachty has developed as an artist. He's not who he was in 2016.
Yeah, he's grown a lot.
But yeah, so it was a pretty prompt and on-time show, I'd say. And Tyler came out, and it was a show.
It's a fantastic show, honestly.
Yeah, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. The second I saw that second stage, and especially when I saw like the couch, I was like, halfway through the show, he's going to come over to the second stage, and that's when he's going to play the old music, and then he'll go back and he'll do his encores. I was completely wrong on what songs those would be.
Yeah.
But
what were you thinking?
Oh, I thought Sticky would be at the end. I thought like that would be like the big ending song. Like I thought I was dead. I thought would come way earlier. I thought he would close with See You Again. As much as I really liked what he did with Balloon, I thought like the stage version of it was very impressive. I did not see that being the ending of the album or the show.
Don't get Jasper started.
I know.
I would have probably swapped Balloon and See You Again, because if you had See You Again going to I Hope You Find Your Way Home, I think that would have been.
Yeah, I thought See You Again would be exactly that. You know, maybe I Hope You Find Your Way Home after that. But yeah, I thought when he did,
I Hope You Find Your Way Home, I think is a good song.
Yeah. Especially because it's the end of the album he's touring.
Yeah.
It is very much the Chromakopia tour. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got a great selection of songs from throughout the discography, I'd say. But yeah. But yeah, I kind of saw the main structure coming, which is not a bad thing. And really and I thought the performance.
Were you guys? Because I saw I saw the set list before the show. Were you guys surprised at how much Chromakopia we got?
A little bit, yeah.
I was thinking it's a album tour. So
it's the Chromakopia tour. I thought we would get as much of it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought we would get the most from Chromakopia for sure. Like, there's a couple songs I thought were a little, I don't want to say shocking, but surprising. Like Judge Judy, I was like, oh, yeah. I didn't think Judge Judy would be a stadium song, but it's a good song, and I think he did it well. So no, I was not surprised, but I was not upset either. I was very, very into it because, I think Chromakopia might be my favorite Tyler album. It's between that and Igor.
I'm in the exact same boat.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with the performance that I was walking away debating what's my favorite album, which says a lot considering his other projects.
I also really like Call Me If You Get Lost. Like, I think on an aesthetic level, I like that one the most. But I think like on a song level, I'm on the other two a little bit more. But yeah, no, I thought that the diversity of like the selection he brought out from throughout his discography, I thought was excellent because he's, an artist with generations of fans now, which is insane. Like one of the things I always say is it's like, it's crazy how ever since I was 18-year-olds get really into Tyler, the Creator, right? That was like me and we were like what, like maybe 20 when Tyler came out, like real young. And like we saw like our younger friends maybe people a little bit older than you two.
I mean, I may even go as far as like we were probably still in high school.
Yeah,
So
maybe
like 2010.
Was that? I don't know. I keep forgetting if it was 2010 or 2012, but
what's before Goblin?
I have
Bastard.
Bastard
was a
We
mixtape.
were in high school.
Yeah, Bastard was 2010.
Let me see.
I remember the thing I really remember was Yonkers, which was a long.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Yeah, that was when I think everyone became aware of him, and that was close. Listen, it was a lot closer to high school than now, but but it may have been the year after. Who knows? But it was close.
And that was 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, and yeah. It's close enough. And it was like, we saw our people around us get really, really into Tyler. And it seems like just like every time, every new generation of 18, 19-year-olds, there's a crop of them that all just get into Tyler. And
I feel like he just has a really good understanding and relatability to like a younger person in general.
Yeah.
Just like how you think about life.
Yeah. He also kind of looks like he kind of acts like an adult from a Cartoon Network cartoon. You know what I mean? Like
he is a cartoon in a regular show?
Yeah, he's in the regular show. He also has his own cartoon, but I forget what it's called. Yeah, I forget what it's called.
I mean, it fits the description.
Also, Loiter Squad, and he's on Eric Andre and a bunch of other stuff.
All right, Jasper, tell us about how much you hated Balloon. No, I'm joking. What'd you think?
Well, we'll get to that. I thought the show was really good. I thought so. This is something that Purvis, I think you and I share. The last time we saw Tyler was at Magnificent Coloring Day, which was 9 years ago. So the difference between literally mid-transition Tyler from the, Wolf and just that whole era, like Wolf to Cherry Bomb, yeah, and everything else. Like he was like right in that transitional period. To be honest, when we saw him, I thought he was pretty weak. I thought it was a pretty like uninteresting performance. The crowd wasn't really into it. It was just kind of whatever. And then Kanye came out and completely like overshadowed the fact that he was even there.
Makes sense.
This was like a spectacle. Like the showmanship is insane. The fact that he has really nailed his like very specific aesthetic, and the fact that he can carry things between albums in that way, both in terms of like stage production and also his like musical taste and the way he like puts the show on, picking out of like different records. Genius. I think it's great. I think this album listening to the album again for this and then also attending the show did the opposite for me that it did for both of you, which is it solidified that this is my least favorite of the modern Tyler albums. So I would put this below Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, and Flower Boy. As an album, the songs on it, individual songs on this, are far outclass stuff that exists in individual songs on, Flower Boy for me. But just as an album, it doesn't hit the same way to me that like the earlier projects did. And I think that the concept for the concept album is one that is so deeply personal, it's honestly kind of like a little bit uncomfortable and makes it hard for me to enjoy it. It's like it gets me too in my head about my own life and like shortcomings and things in a way that makes it hard to appreciate the music. And that's not a bad thing.
I feel that though.
Yeah, it's just like
does that?
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Like my dad's, there's this song, I have to tell you about a parallel. There's this song off this album I like by Jason Isbell, which I brought up, the album Southeastern. The song's called Yvette. It's like the second to last song on the album, and it's this like semi-autobiographical story of this guy who sees his neighbor who's like in his age in high school, who's getting like abused by her stepfather or whatever, and he ends up shooting the stepfather. And my dad's like, I can't really listen to that song even though I love that album because it's like too real for like what my experience was growing up in my hometown in like small town Illinois. And I was like, that's weird. And then this album came out, and so much stuff in here is just like too real and like a little too personal, where it makes me it takes me out of the moment of being able to like listen to the album and enjoy it. So that's that.
Sure, yeah.
With that said, yeah, like a lot of the songs off here that are the higher energy bops, they hit. And I think the set list was really good. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get more Call Me If You Get Lost, especially like some of the deeper cuts off of that. Like I would have loved to see Massa live. I really still want to see that song live. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get Stuntman, Vince Staples and stuff. Yacht, what is it? Yacht Talk with A$AP Rocky. That would have been a good one, or whatever it's called. Wharf Talk. And I thought that the Igor stuff was great. I think A Boy Is a Gun, having that just like 80-bit was kind of funny, but yeah, overall like a really solid set. Yeah, stage presence and just the energy was insane. And he should have shouted out people in their late 20s too, because my knees were hurting as well, not just people in their mid 30s.
It was actually kind of wild. I woke up the next morning and I felt great, or at least my body did.
Yeah.
Like I was dead tired. I got like 6 hours of sleep, but I was like low key, if I had 3 monsters right now, I could probably go work out.
3 monsters is diabolical. Yeah.
I did not know New Magic Wand was like one of his biggest songs.
Oh, that's his biggest song, period. Yeah. He also
I understand.
This was I remember the online discourse around this. When Igor came out, this was the hottest fucking take apparently that people were so upset about, which was that he considered New Magic Wand to be his best song ever when once Igor had come out. And I agreed at the time. Like, I think it's an excellent song. And I think everything in the modern era is so much better than his first 3 albums and Bastard that, like, it's kind of a no-brainer. And this, like, did the rounds on Twitter with people being like, you're fucking insane. Your discography is so much deeper, yada, yada, yada. It's just like, I don't know. I think it was pretty fucking great for when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, yeah, the fact that that's the song that he goes back to the main stage for, and, like, that's where all the main lights are. That was pretty great.
No, the live performance of New Magic Wand went crazy hard.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got I Killed You, Judge Judy, and Take Your Mask Off in that order. Or like, yeah, so close together, especially.
Yeah, I'm shocked we got those 3 as close together as we did, because I thought I thought Judge Judy would have been later than what it was.
I mean, the first 7 songs of the album he did in order. He just didn't do
didn't
do Hey Jane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he goes straight into Sticky, and then Take Your Mask Off and the first 10 songs he essentially did in order.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Interesting.
I did not realize that. Yeah.
Because like we saw Kendrick, and it was very much the GNX tour. We did not have that experience,
Yeah, and when
he opened up with Whacked Out Murals, and that's really it.
And then kind of went off from there.
I mean, he did the first 3 songs, but not as much.
Not
as
7 or 10 or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, he literally did it in one order. He just didn't do Hey Jane. It's the only song he didn't do.
Yeah. Because if you just remove all the other songs, it's all in order.
That's one of the first times I've seen that.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen that. That's nuts.
Shout out to him. I'm not upset
at
all.
So I want to bring up something Purvis had brought up earlier in the group chats, and that is stage presence. Man, this man has
I was blown away.
Presence.
He puts on one of the best stage shows. Out of all the shows we've seen in June, he put on the best stage show.
That was a workout. Like, he was drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the screen behind him.
Especially in the first part, like up until the Igor's theme, when he's in the general outfit. That's impossible. I could not do that.
All the dancing and all the moving that he was doing. He did more dancing than The Weeknd and Kendrick combined.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, Kendrick didn't dance at all. He just walked around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's also,
same with The
But
Weeknd.
Kendrick is also rapping like a rap. Yeah, he's like, it's a very different kind.
Tyler was doing the same. Tyler had no backtracks also.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but it's a
Tyler
different kind. It's a different kind of thing.
Kendrick's is filled with hate. Like,
yeah.
But no, you are right. I see what you
mean. Yeah. But yeah, no, especially as someone that's just not as emotionally connected to like a lot of the earlier stuff, I thought this really, really did hit. And yeah,
this is the type of tour where you know he's not going to do anything for 5-6 years.
That was going to be my next question. Like, what's next? Because I don't think we're going to get anything for a while.
He's going to probably focus on TV.
I mean, we said that after the estate sale. My best, I remember after the estate sale, we're like, oh, it's probably going to be a year or two.
Yeah, but we weren't at that tour wise. Like with this tour, like we didn't see him on that tour. So
yeah, I mean,
because I saw him in 21, and that was in the middle of the Call Me When You Get Lost tour.
Yeah,
and that didn't feel anything like how this tour felt.
I mean, like, you got to think about it. Like Jasper said, this is probably his most personal album.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
considering his discography. After this, and taking your mask off, he's probably just gonna go chill for a while, and I wouldn't blame him for doing that.
I see him focusing on golf, on the golf brand, and maybe doing some more work with Adult Swim.
I think it's going to be 3 years till a new album because he broke his 2-year cycle to put out Chromacopia for the first time in ever. It's been 2 years like clockwork every single freaking year. And after the estate sale, it was not a full 2 years until Chromacopia.
Yeah. I think 3 years is probably correct. If not, honestly, I think it's probably going to be a little shorter.
Maybe.
I think because like, I don't know. I just watch a lot of interviews of Tyler because I think he's a really intelligent guy. And like,
he has great interviews.
And I just think he talks so much about how he just loves to make music. And it's like, I don't think he's going to go 2-3 years. Like, you know, for the same reason I wouldn't go 2-3 years without playing video games or writing or something. It's because it's what I like doing. Right. I think it comes down to that. Right. I think all that other stuff is cool, but I just think he's been very consistent that like he just, above all else, he loves making music. You know, and we got a new song here, didn't we? Like there was at least
No, I looked it up. I saw that in there. I scratched it out because apparently, according to the set list, it wasn't actually a new song. It was just like an interlude or something.
Okay. But yeah,
so I was gonna say that nothing sounded new.
Yeah,
it was based off the setlist.com.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't. I get that this is like his very personal album, but I don't like. I think we know his creative cadence at this point, and I think
he's bringing back the Vine videos. He's going to TikTok.
First off, I would love that. I would re-download Trump Talk for that. Like
Esmeralda. He went to Esmeralda's graduation. You all see that?
God.
Yeah. I did. That's very nice. Cute.
So wild.
Oh my God. But yeah, no, what a classic. Because that was really what made me like Tyler, was watching him on Vine. Like,
yeah.
The next thing, I honestly, I'm probably way off on this. I feel like there's some sort of Odd Future reunion, something in the works. I just get that feeling that that's what's going to be next. It's something Odd Future related.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah,
dude. Like
I know I'm probably way off on it, but I just feel like there's going to be a reunion, something.
There was a show he was doing. I think it was maybe as part of this tour. It was like the part where he's doing like the legacy songs, or maybe it was even before that for like the estate sale. He was doing like some concert, and he started playing a song of his, or like a very old Odd Future song featuring Frank Ocean, and people are freaking out. And then he goes, "Oh no, he's not coming out here. We don't know where that motherfucker is." It's like there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, like,
no, Frank's gonna be the one that holds that up.
Yeah, and like the thing is, it's like not only Frank, the other one that would hold it up is Earl, and it's like if you don't have those,
I think Earl Sweatshirt will be more. Earl Sweatshirt's closer to Tyler than Frank is at this moment. I
thought they were kind of hostile.
I have
no idea.
Yeah,
when Tyler did Coachella last year, he brought Earl Sweatshirt out, and that brought a big stir. Is like, oh, is he going to have Odd Future out at Lala? Because he was supposed to do Lala last year.
Okay, that's a fair point.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's a fair point, because I would also just perceive Earl, who has an incredible career, and like, you know, probably the only person you can compare to Tyler. and I see him being a holdup on that too. But I don't know.
Remember when? Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's more likely than Brockhampton, but like that's about it. Like,
yeah. Remember when Earl Sweatshirt got mad at people moshing to the what's that weird fucking song that he put out with like that insane backing beat? I forget what it's called. But people were like moshing and shit to it, and he stopped it. He's like, "All right, cut that shit out now."
It's just like we don't mosh to it. It's
yes.
off of some rap songs. It's
Yeah, it is.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Riot.
Riot. That's right.
It's literally called Riot, but you're not supposed to riot to it.
Yeah, forbidden.
But
anyway, so yeah, who knows what he's gonna do next? I just think his name is the creator. He's gonna create something, and it's like I wouldn't be so fast to assume that this is like the signal of a long break. But who knows? I think like not having expectations for Tyler is probably your best bet.
Oh, definitely. Because you never know what.
Yeah.
I just feel like his next big thing is going to have to deal with something with the golf brand or Adult Swim.
Yeah. Or Flognaw. I think he just might want to continue blowing out Flognaw.
It's one of the few artists you don't need to rush or worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
We need
I want the Tyler Kenny album now.
Yeah, we need a Hillbillies Tyler album.
Yeah, I want.
Throw the Weeknd in for a song.
For one song where they all hate Drake.
I just listened to Dawn FM today.
Well,
it's a good feature.
It's a very good feature, right?
I listen to that album all the time. Like all the time. Shout out Quincy Jones.
It's a very good album.
Purvis.
Curious on Tyler's feature on the Clips album.
You don't like Dawn FM. We talked about this.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's grown on me more.
Okay.
I never said it was bad. I just
it's too funky not to like.
I'll correct myself, Brandon. I did not like the album when it came out, but like I didn't call it bad. I just didn't like it. It's not what I wanted at the time. And now that I have After Hours, I respect it more. Keyword respected more. I don't go back.
Oh, you mean Hurry Up Tomorrow?
Or Hurry Up Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
I respect it a lot more. But like I don't go back and listen to it myself.
God, it's so good.
Valid.
But I wouldn't call it bad. I'm not crazy. It's not for me.
God.
I have my limits. Like
All right. But yeah, so I think that's kind of our thoughts on everything.
Recommendations.
A must see. You got to see.
Yeah, a must see. If you're any amount of a Tyler fan, I think he's a must see live. Like it's almost kind of hard to talk about because it's
you got to see
so cohesive, right?
Visual,
it's so.
It's more than just a show.
I think one thing I want to bring up is, and I know there are mixed opinions about this song on the podcast, but I thought the execution of Balloon was incredible with the light show and having like the footage of Doechii, so like it feels like it has like kind of the energy of her coming out without having to actually bring her out. I thought was awesome. I thought like that is because it is probably my least favorite song on the album, like keeping it real. But the way I feel like he transformed it into a closer, I was very, very into. I very much liked.
I am curious on the differences he does from the shows to what he does at Lala.
Yeah, that is
because he's only getting in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I would 100% watch the Tyler set if it's streamed on Hulu. Like,
I'm sure it's going to be on Hulu. They just announced today that they're doing that again.
Amazing.
They didn't show who's going to be there, be shown yet, but I assume Tyler is. Tyler usually puts up on his YouTube page the festival performances.
Yeah. I do like
he'll put the whole set list set up there.
I do like how YouTube has like a whole basket of live performances you could just watch.
And because Summer Smash, they had a live stream going also.
Yeah.
And I was watching some of that, and I'm just like, this is bad. Like, audio levels were so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen and you watch what Hulu or YouTube does with Lollapalooza or Coachella, and man, the difference is like a high schooler to someone who just graduated college.
It's almost like Summer Smash and Lyrical should stick to making music videos.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad we can start speaking our minds about Lyrical now.
Hilarious.
Okay.
No, I can't stop thinking about how much I hate that fucking song.
God,
Balloon.
I know.
My opinion is unchanged after having seen it live. It is the worst song of the modern Tyler era, and I would put it just above anything off of Wolf. Like, my God, dude.
I started dying because obviously this is like your concert. Like everyone has their concert where like we just kind of go crazy. Yeah.
Honestly, not even though, because like I'm not a huge Chromakopia fan. It's like I like Tyler a lot, but half of it was stuff that I feel lukewarm on anyway.
Even still, Tyler in general, you're the biggest Tyler fan out of the group.
Yeah.
And like you were vibing the whole concert. And I was like kind of watching it and like kind of laughing. Like, oh yeah,
sat down.
The moment that song started,
like a
that was the best moment.
Like a politician with a gunshot. Like
you literally started pouting, and then somebody was like leaving, and you turned to me and was just like, "They're not even real fans." I'm at least sitting through it. You know?
No, but so for real though, I was like, "Oh great, a time to rest my knees." Dude, it's ridiculous.
So irritated.
The fact that song comes immediately after "Like Him," which is like honestly one of my favorite songs on that album, and is like such an intense emotional crescendo, and then it just pisses it all away with this stupid ass beat and stupid ass lyrics about stuff I don't agree with, and Dochi saying the line, "I blow this bitch out like a queef." That's not better than any fart line we've had on the show at all, ever, at any point. I hate this fucking song. There, I've said my piece.
I don't know, man. I think you just kind of have to let it go.
I do.
I feel like you hate the song. I feel like you hate Balloon more than the song I associate with like a death of a personal family member. Like there's a song I associate with the death of my brother that I do not hate, that I genuinely hate. I genuinely cannot be in a room when this song plays. I don't hate it that much. So I don't know. Maybe
it's a personal vendetta.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe talk to someone.
I have strong opinions about Sonics. All right. That's why I'm on the podcast. That's why we talk about it on the podcast. This is cheaper than therapy.
This is talking to someone. This is our therapy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? If I went to a therapist, net new therapist, I was like, the root of my problems is a song called Balloon. Are you familiar? And they're like, no.
They'll be like, here's Lexapro. Have a nice day.
And then I'll play it for them, and they'll be like, I see. You're right. You're justified in all of your feelings.
God damn.
Or you get a white vest thrown on you and tossed in a white padded room.
That could be an outcome as well. Okay. Can we do recommendations?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to start with a song I would have liked to have heard on the tour.
I did that.
Yeah. Well, I only have one. And it was not a song I had any expectation of hearing. It was not one I was like, oh, I think they're going to play this. I think he's going to play this. No, I knew it wasn't. It's a song off Wolf. Domo 23. It's one of my favorite early Tyler songs. It goes so hard. It is very, very good. I knew there was no chance it was going to get played. So I can't honestly say I'm disappointed. But would I have liked it a lot? Yes.
Yes. Fair enough.
I'll go next. So my first one is going to be a song that should be played constantly this weekend, and that's MGMT Electric Feel.
Oh, God, I'm going to play that song.
We would have also accepted Weekend Wars, but I applaud your choice.
Yeah.
Jasper, do you want to go?
Sure, yeah. I'm doing a bit for mine. I re-listened to Dawn FM today because, Flo stayed at work, and, having Jim Carrey to come in to tell you exactly when it's been 30 minutes, don't touch that dial, is kind of cathartic. So I'm going with Out of Time because that song belongs on a Michael Jackson record. And it's such an interesting, damn, this is so close. Love that song. And that's what comes right after the Quincy interlude also. So it's like you get this spoken word part into this big musical flourish.
It flows really, really well. The flow is crazy.
Big fan.
This reminded me why I didn't like Don FM as much. Them damn interludes with Jim Carrey. I'm sorry.
There's like two of them. I hate Jim Carrey, and I don't mind him.
He gave a whole speech about life and death
at the end.
It's a rhyme.
It's a closer. Like,
it's like a gong. Get it on.
Anyway,
what I mean, it's the second best poem at the end of an album, but like,
he wants the baby making music Weeknd makes.
Exactly.
He wants the cheat music.
I will say the one thing that is really gratuitous on Dawn FM is Every Angel is Terrified, where it goes into like
very, yeah.
Like,
totally agree.
It could be a perfect fucking album if not for that. Like, dramatic. It's like just an announcer voice in the middle of everything.
Give me R&B Weeknd or give me death.
Technically and visually stunning.
Anyway, my first song, because I'm going to change it because you just reminded me. I do want to do at least one song of Tyler's that I wish that I heard or wished I heard but did not. I thought it would have been dope to play Answer right before Like Him to see the transition of how he speaks about his father.
Yeah.
From early Tyler to late Tyler. I thought that would have been dope. So that's what I wish I would have heard.
Amazing. Okay. My next one hits three of our favorite genres of recommendations. It's an early track from one of our Golden Boys. It's a song I wish we would have seen live in one of the shows we've seen recently. And it's about my feelings about America today. I'm recommending Hate Government by Denzel Curry.
Fuck yeah.
Straight to the point.
I don't know if you guys know this.
Oh, we know, Brandon.
But I hate the government.
I mean,
who does?
It's a good transition into my second song because
all right,
with today having the One Big Beautiful Bill passed, it is now Hard Out There for a Pimp by 3 6 Mafia.
Excellent choice.
That was very good. I like that. That was good. God,
can we keep this going?
Yeah, that was very good.
Did you guys plan this?
No.
You're like, yeah, my next song is actually going to be I Need a Dollar.
Now it is. Like,
all right. How much does a bill cost? Like, come on. How much does a dollar cost? All right. What's your song, Jasper?
It's me again. My next song is Oasis is touring again, which means it's time to listen to Blur because I have a side in this. And their album Think Tank is my favorite album of theirs, even though it came a little later, it wasn't super popular. I'm going with the song Out of Time off of Think Tank.
Oh, you did the thing.
Another song I've listened to a lot this week.
You done the thing.
I did do the thing. I did do the bit.
We haven't done the bit in a while.
Wow, we've covered a lot of different bits this recommendation period. This was a lot of the very bit heavy.
You just need someone to recommend 2 songs that have the same name now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to put together a little playlist that's like Downfall of America Core, and it's like all the song titles relate to like just things getting progressively worse.
Could do it.
The last song should be no.
There's a song that's
by the group. Yes.
No, it's Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia. It's a real song. Like,
yeah, it is.
Oh, I didn't think it was.
That's the one off of Scaring the Hose.
Scaring the Hose DLC pack.
DLC pack, yeah.
Can we do Make It Stop by Rise Against?
Dudes, yeah. Dude, need Scaring the Hose Volume 2.
They're working on it.
They're working on it.
Unbelievable.
I need it.
All right. I'll close this off. I've been listening to Twista, surprisingly. And so I went back to one of the samples that came out in 1978. Lenny Williams, 'Cause I Love You. The sample made for Overnight Celebrity. Banger. So good.
Oh my God.
So that's my recommendation.
Still can't believe he was kicking the beach balls to the side when we were blowing him up for Lil Yachty's set last year. I'll never forget that.
Crazy that we actually met him and like had a full conversation. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing remarks? Like, subscribe.
No, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Tell us if you went to Tyler. Tell us if the second day was different or worse or better.
Don't tell us if it was better, actually. I don't want to know.
I don't think there was like any major surprises or something.
Tell us about why Balloon is your least favorite Tyler Creator song.
And tell us about having healthy boundaries with the art you consume. Good night.
It couldn't be me.